I think the fact that he didn't play on winning teams makes the snap streak even more impressive. Because, I wrote this in my column. I actually did the research. From 2008 on, so they went 10-6 in 2007. From 2008 on, Joe played in 10 games when the Browns were above 500. 8 of those were in 2014. Wow. So this guy was getting out there every single week in teams that were playing out the string in December, the Hugh Jackson years and the last Mike Pettin year were, they never had a chance in those seasons. And Joe was getting out there every single game and refusing to take a week off and refusing to even take a snap off. First of all, left tackle wins is not a stat. And secondly, I think it almost makes it more impressive that he did this amidst all the losing.
Yeah, because as we mentioned, the losing comes with it upheaval and turmoil and dysfunction and a different quarterback every year, or maybe 2 quarterbacks every year. So he had to learn the tendencies of 20 different starting quarterbacks, had to introduce himself to a quarterback once that he had never met in the huddle. So all of these things, I think, also contributed to his amazing legacy. And Phil Dawson, the great former Browns kicker, in a story that I did with him the other day, he made the point that with Joe, he didn't have the luxury of, a sustained running game each week. The Browns were playing from behind so often that it was open season on Joe all the time. And Joe wasn't somebody that you would give the chipping help to. He didn't get the chipping help, right? He didn't have the tight end or the running back helping him block. On his side, he was on an island. Doug Deacon always used to say that about Joe, that he was pretty much on an island and had to do the job himself. If you're going to give someone help, it was going to be someone else. So yeah, all these things, really add up to just a remarkable career for Joe. And it's just fun to be a part of it.
So, look, I got to cover Joe the last few years in the league. You got to cover him from the start. What will you remember? What will you remember from those 11 years about Joe Thomas?
There's a lot of things that I'll remember from those 11 years, but one of the most special things from a media standpoint that I remember is just Joe standing at his locker for just, as long as anybody needed him to be the face and the voice of the franchise through all that losing. Somebody had to answer for, hey, is this quarterback going to be good? And what about this new coach? Or you're into week 14 and you're going nowhere. And Joe had to be the one that stood there and tried to explain why we're going to continue to play hard and why we have good culture. And it was hard. It was really hard for him to have to do that, to be the one that everybody had to come to for all of the answers all of the time. But he did it. He never turned his back on anyone. He never said he didn't have time to talk. He had time for everyone. It could be the smallest news outlet to the largest. He didn't differentiate. He was just incredible to deal with from that standpoint, and that's what I will remember more so than anything.
What is that experience like? And I know